Hi everybody, Virgo here. I'm putting a disclaimer in the beginning of this video because I already know it's going to be misunderstood before we even get to the middle of it. The purpose for me making this video was to show you that a lot of the information that's being put out on the internet currently is disinformation with a particular political agenda. To put it quite frankly, there is an agenda that's going on currently that if anyone is caught in the middle of these protests that are going on across the nation, that they are all a part of one group, and that one group is all one side of the political spectrum, and that entire group is quote-unquote evil. Quite frankly, I'm sick of it. And even though the Virgo Triad channel doesn't do any kind of political anything, and I definitely am one that is an independent, I'm tired of it not being spoken out against. This particular video is about a video that went viral this weekend after the shooting of 2 Compton police officers, and a group called Africatown Coalition went to the hospital those police officers were taken to and gave them a very hard time. Now, the entire video is not here, but there's a good portion of it, a good chunk of it that it is. And it will piss you off. But the reason for me making this video is important because not enough people are speaking out, and I know why they're not. The reason that they're not is because they're concerned that their subscribers will get upset. My only concern is that the truth is out there. And I really don't care, one way or the other, who gets upset about this, to be perfectly honest with you, because the facts just are that. The facts. When you assume that your neighbor, your family member, or your friend are evil simply because of a political ideology, you're making a big mistake. And that kind of ignorance cannot stand. What you're being fed across the internet is bullshit. Over and over again, there are instances where extreme groups are doing things and it's being blamed all on one side, when it's very evident, when you've done the kind of research that the Virgo Triad channel has done, and me personally, are able to see that those extreme groups are just adding to the chaos in order to attempt to make one side of the political spectrum look as though they're completely evil and out of control, when in reality, the side that they're projecting it on doesn't even believe in things like weapons. As you guys know, I hate dealing with politics on my channel, but it's necessary at times when discussing the extreme movements that we discuss. I will not sit back and watch you go down the hole of the rabbit that is prejudice and believes that the only way to actually push their political agenda and the side that they want to win is to lie and misinform you. I'm going to call it out every time. So I fully anticipate a lashback for making this video, but I hope that you'll watch it anyway. And I hope you'll understand that the reason that I'm upset doesn't have anything to do with either side of the political agenda. What it has to do with is the fact that you're being lied to. And worse, the fact that I'm seeing so many don't care, as long as it fits their own personal agenda.
The facts matter.
Whatever. What's out there, Black family? This is Kevin Ward Price, Africatown Coalition. We are out here at St. Francis Hospital, where 2 of America's most notorious gang members have been brought to. We're going to go up here and just check on these murderers right here and see what's up. You know what I'm saying? So let me turn this around. Oh.
Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. It is September 14th, 2020, and happy Monday to everyone. The man that you just heard speaking is named Kevin Wharton Price, and you're looking at his Twitter feed right now. Kevin Wharton Price claims to be one of the leaders of the Africa Town Coalition, a group out of Los Angeles County, California. This particular group happened to be involved in a scenario that went viral over the internet this weekend. That particular scenario has to do with the shooting of 2 police officers who were shot in the head in Compton, California. The gang members that this individual was speaking of, that you just heard a moment ago, that he was referring to, were actually police officers. Those 2 police officers that were shot in the head were actually taken to a hospital where this group, the Africa Town Coalition, showed up and gave the security guards and the police officers at the hospital a very difficult time. That video went viral this weekend, and I'm going to be reviewing that video with you. But before I do, I want to make a statement. This particular group is not who you think they are. There are several videos and blogs that have gone up claiming that this group is part of the protesters out of Black Lives Matter. They aren't. Why is that important? It's not because I agree with everything that Black Lives Matter is doing, or maybe anything that Black Lives Matter is doing at this point. It really doesn't matter one way or the other, because the truth is, this group of individuals has nothing to do with them. This is an entirely different group, and I think you'll be surprised what it is that they're supporting and what it is that they're doing in reality. The disinformation campaign that's going on across the internet is pretty much unstoppable at this point, but I can at least shine a light on it. Many of you find yourselves getting more and more angry because of the protests that are going on and are assuming that what you're hearing and seeing across the internet are factual. After all, a few of them are guilty, so they must all be guilty, right? But those just simply aren't the facts. And if you'll follow me along here, I think you'll be surprised at what you find out with regards to the Africa Town Coalition.
Following tonight here on KCAL 9 News at 9 o'clock, 2 deputies shot in an ambush-style attack in Compton at the Metro Blue Line station. You could see the video here on the right-hand side of your screen released by the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department of exactly what happened. There is a search underway for what is being described as a single gunman.
Excuse me?
No, we're coming to visit someone.
No, you're not.
We can't go visit nobody?
You can once we confirm who it is, but there's no visitation allowed anyway, so you gotta go.
All right, y'all, you see what's happening right here, right? They got these pigs out here. They are telling us that we cannot come in here and see these individuals who's been shot down at the motherfucking train station. You understand what I'm saying?
The more that you hear, the more abhorrent that it becomes, and it will make you angry. The point of this particular video being up on many platforms and on many channels is for that very purpose, to make you angry. And the fact that they're tying it all together with the BLM protesters that are out there. After all, there's an agenda. These crazy leftists are doing these crazy things, and they're violent, and they're speaking to our police officers in the manner that they are. And therefore, everyone should be angry and pissed off, because that's what the leftists are all about. The problem is that that's not actually true. Many of the groups that you're actually seeing are not leftists at all, such is the case with the Africa Town Coalition. But let's watch.
And so,
Sir.
what?
There's no visitation allowed, sir.
Okay. This is a public this
No,
is a
it's
public
not.
hospital
No, it's
right
not.
here.
It's a private hospital,
And you're telling
sir.
us that we
It's
cannot
a private
come here
hospital, sir.
inside of
It's a private hospital, sir.
It's a public.
No, it's not. It's not county. It's private. You need to
Okay,
go.
this is public.
You need
How
to
you
go,
gonna stop
sir.
us from coming up in
You
here?
need to go, sir.
You need to go.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
You
so
need to
this,
go,
look,
sir.
y'all,
Private
look, y'all,
property.
let me tell you something.
Private property.
Don't push on me, I can
You
walk.
pushed that
Private
to me,
property.
sir.
So let's
You pushed
draw a
that to
line
me,
right
sir.
here.
Well, the
Private
line is
property.
The
Property.
line is
Private property.
Private property.
Private property.
We all sick. We all got COVID.
Private property.
Private property.
You got the flag.
This is the
The so-called misunderstanding here about the hospital being private or public property is absolutely ridiculous, and these people are thoroughly aware that this is private property. Just because the hospital happens to be there does not mean that the hospital is a public hospital. It is a private hospital. It's actually owned by stockholders, and the property that it is on is considered private property, so they could very easily be trespassed from here. But let's continue.
hospital.
What, playing what game?
You guys gotta go.
This the hospital.
Yeah, what y'all want to do? They done brought these women up in
This the
front of us.
hospital.
This is
I
private
can't
property.
push on
This
no
the
woman.
hospital, man.
This
We-
is private
we got-
property.
We out here sick.
Come on.
No, you're not.
We out here sick.
Come on.
I know
We
this.
out here sick.
I know this here.
We out here sick.
LA Sheriff.
Hey! Hey!
That's what needs to happen. These motherfuckers need to die.
Hey!
This is justice, motherfucker. This is justice, motherfucker.
We hope that bitch stops.
Yeah, it's gonna
Oink,
be more.
oink, oink,
It's gonna be
oink,
more.
oink, oink.
Are you getting angry yet? I know I've seen this about 18 times at this point while making this video, and each time it made my blood pressure go up. If you're getting angry, that's the point.
Get ready,
Oink,
motherfucker.
oink.
Keep killing. Y'all
Oink,
gonna die
oink.
too.
Yeah, you think that
Oink,
you
oink.
can murder motherfucking black people?
Oink, oink.
Fuck the police.
Hey!
Fuck y'all.
Fuck y'all.
Fuck
Come
your
on, bitch.
partner.
Say something now. Say
Yeah,
something now.
Hey!
Bitch.
Hey!
They got a fake badge on too. Look at this bitch.
Okay, well, you got you sitting up here. Stopping us from doing
Fuck
our
the
duty.
police.
Hey! Yo! Fuck the police! I hope they die, motherfucker! But these are kids, motherfucker!
Caesar, Caesar!
Supposedly this shit's fucking private, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's in here fucking related to this church? I mean to this
no.
hospital?
Come on down here
How's
and
it
do
private?
something, motherfucker!
Fuck the police.
That's their
Yeah.
excuse.
Bitches, man.
You know how white
bitch-ass
supremacy is.
motherfucker.
Fucking pig.
Yeah. I hope
Oh, here
you
they
Oink,
come,
oink.
here they come, here they come. Here they come.
Yeah. Come on down here.
The
Hey!
next one.
Yeah, you goddamn right
You'll
we
be the
record.
next one.
Everybody motherfucking record.
Hey!
Everybody motherfucking record. Okay? Yeah, everybody motherfucking record. You motherfuckers murdered.
Should be recording too.
I think you get the point. So now that everybody's good and worked up, all of the video platforms that have these up, all of the channels that have information about this group up, are running around talking about how the protesters are doing these sorts of things. And this is the reason why they should be stopped. This is the reason why your vote matters and you need to provide, an absolute vote towards the president who is putting forward the law and order agenda. Now, as you know, the Virgo Triad channel is not a political channel. However, when dealing with any kind of extreme group, we do have to take a look at their political agendas. And the reason for that is because their ideology is generally what brings them to the extreme ideology that they're in. So, having said that, unfortunately, this is something that we're going to have to address with the Africatown Coalition. Most individuals believe at this point that this is part of the BLM protest movement, that this actually has something to do with what it is that you're witnessing on the screen. And in reality, to some extent, it does have something to do with Black lives, but it doesn't have anything to do with the protest movement going across the nation right now called Black Lives Matter. What this has to do with is a group of people that are attempting to try to create their own cities. Their own cities meaning, like you see Chinatown out of Los Angeles and many other cities across our nation, they want Africa Town. But let's take a look at what their actual agenda is. Follow me through this Twitter feed. All right, here we go. So, as you can see, Kevin Wharton Price is making statements that he loves his Black family, which is great. And he does a lot of forwarding of information from other people that follow him and that he follows, such as Afro City Hair, so on and so forth. He does a lot of posting of things like anytime there is any kind of instance where there is a white person who goes against a Black person, or anytime cops are involved mainly. And you can see that they have their own little flag here, and that they do a lot of speaking in public, as we've seen with these types of groups in the past. And you continue to move on, and you will see some interesting other things that pop up. So let's just notice this post first, with the hashtag #HandsOffVenezuela. And let's keep going. And you see the Martin Luther King parade. And of course, this is one of the videos that shows them cleaning up what they call to be Africa Town. So far, just kind of looks like the same type of Twitter feed you would see out of a Moor, correct? Where they claim they have their own government and so on and so forth. But if you keep going, you will notice that you start to see some political things. This is one of them, where Kevin Price claims Trump should initiate right now a state of emergency and have that woman Pelosi arrested for treason. How about that, Democrats? Or this one. Trump should initiate right now a state of emergency and have that woman Pelosi arrested for treason. How about that, Democrats? We can continue to go down, and I can show you even more of different footage and different things that this person advocates for. But the truth is, this group has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. They're also not a left-wing group. And to be quite frank with you, I am sick and tired of seeing the disinformation. Now, many of you are going to jump up and down and go, oh my God, Virgo's a leftist. No, Virgo isn't. Virgo is an independent, but that doesn't really matter, and let me tell you why. What does matter here are the facts, and the facts are that this group that has gone viral over the weekend is being pushed in with Black Lives Matter, who is being called a leftist anarchist group. The truth is that Black Lives Matter may have people in it that are left-wing, and they may be more liberal of a group. That is probably true. However, these individuals who did this and made such a terrible video to put out there are not part of the left. Just like many of the fires that were set and many of the people that got shot and hurt don't have anything to do with the left at all. As a matter of fact, a lot of them, such as the Boogaloos, are on the right, and many of the Proud Boys groups that went out and did damage are right-wing. Now, here is the thing. I don't consider any of the extremists on either side to be right or left. I consider them to be, well, just extreme. And that puts them in a totally different category as far as I'm concerned. That allows me to stay as non-political as possible. But when you start villainizing one side of the political spectrum, and you push it in this manner, in a false manner, in order to attempt to try to make people view one side of the political spectrum as literally evil, and you find out that it's coming from the total opposite side, yeah, then you need to start speaking out. So you can be angry with the Virgo Triad channel, or you can even be angry with me personally that I'm putting this out on Front Street. But you can't avoid the fact that the facts remain. There's an agenda here. And I don't care what side you're on. That agenda is to lie, to put forward disinformation, to falsely make people believe that one side is much more violent and destructive than the other side. And you know what? I don't care. One way or the other, you have to view this as it is. And that is a lie. We walk around on a daily basis with friends, family members, and neighbors that don't believe in the same political ideology that we do. But yet, we still consider them to be friends and family and neighbors. These people don't become violent or destructive just because they don't believe in the same things that you do. No, that's what makes this nation a democracy. The disinformation campaign that's going on across the web is something that you need to be very, very leery of. Because no matter who will make the best president, no matter who will help the country the most, anytime you get a lie from either side, you have to look at who's behind that lie. And you have to wonder, if you're so good for the country, then why push the lies? Personally, I don't like any of the choices that we have to make coming up here soon. Personally, I'm in fear for our nation regardless. But one thing I do believe in is absolute honesty and truth. And I know that what I'm seeing with regards to this particular viral video is a lie. And I think everyone needs to be aware of that lie, because if you're not, then you are making decisions uninformed. And unfortunately, that makes you ignorant. Please do your research. Don't just assume because a couple of individuals are bad that everything is bad. Because there is no bad completely on either side. We're just people, and we're trying to find a way to make things better. There are, however, those that take things to the extreme, and those are the ones we need to watch out for. And unfortunately, we do have to pay attention to whose horn they're blowing, because that is the horn on either side that needs to actually be silenced. Anytime you attempt to try to overthrow something that's been set up by the majority, you need to be in the spotlight. We all are part of this country. We all have to live here. And if the ideas of a particular ideology, such as this group's, are powerful enough, we could all be in a lot of trouble. This particular group is highly homophobic. This particular group is highly against the government that we currently have. This particular group is against specific things like capitalism, which is what this country has. This particular group happens to be extremely prejudiced. Is that what you want running your country? No, of course not. Why do you think that the video makes you so angry? But you have to ask yourself another question. No matter who you think is the best for this country in order to run it, do you really want it run because you believed a lie? I'm sitting and watching every single day this agenda being pushed from both sides of the political spectrum. And some of them are so disgusting and so wrong that there's going to be catastrophic mistakes that are made. And I just hope that this might help to open your eyes a little bit to show you that if you don't research everything, you don't know anything. Have a good day.